Hi there. I haven't posted a video in a long time, and I owe you guys a lot of first impressions. I've tried a lot of new juice lately, and, well, I figured I'd shoot this little video and catch you up on what I've been smelling, splitting, trying out, both good and bad. What do you say we get into some of these and give them a whirl? I don't know why the hell I just did it like that. But anyways, I do have a lot of new stuff that I've been trying recently and figured, let's do it. First impressions. Haven't done them in a while. So, got the 2 new Tom Fords that just came out last week. Have an Yves Saint Laurent, a couple of random ones, and a bunch from a line that is just started to pick up a little bit lately. It's the Stéphane Humbert Lucas line, the 7771. Another one of the Uber price lines. So let's do the random ones first. These are all samples. Some of these I have worn once or twice. A few others I have not, and I don't really have much of an impression of what they smell like. So let's start with one that I have not worn. This is from the house of LM Parfums. This is Ultimate Seduction. I have no idea anything about this, so... Whoa. Alright, well. A little fruity. A little bit of... might be some kind of pink pepper. That's not what I was expecting. This is a lot more feminine than I was expecting. Sweet fruit. Not really any florals, but that's not what I was expecting. It's a little bit different. It's not bad. Not sure if it's something that I would necessarily wear. It's from the same house that did Hard Leather, which, if you've never tried that, it's a bear. Good way. But this is not in the same genre. With a name like Ultimate Seduction, you'd think it passes itself off as being a lot more, I don't know, not this. Not bad. Got a pen somewhere. Keep track of these. My apartment ends up smelling like one giant chemical when I do these videos, and now that I've got, I don't know, 12 of these things sitting here, I can only imagine how much it's going to smell like that. Anyways, Ultimate Seduction. Let's move on. This is a house that I discovered while I was at Barney's buying a bottle for another split. This is from a house called, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce it. It is the French equivalent of Imaginary Liquid. It's something to the effect of Liquide Imaginary. I butchered that to hell. But this one is called Bloody Wood. When I was in there, saw the bottle, which is a beautiful bottle. And it's a red juice, as you can see. And saw it was named Bloody Wood. Well, how do you turn down a juice called Bloody Wood? This one I have smelled. I've worn it once. Now this comes off as a very fine, boozy wine scent with a little bit of fruit, kind of a dried fruit, not like the Ultimate Seduction, not that sugary, sweet, overdone. This is really good, and the one time I wore this, the wood comes through towards the end. It's a light wood. This is not terribly far off from West Side, from Bond. They're cousins of one another. This one's a little bit more fruity. I think this is actually a better smelling juice. The only problem here is this is weak as hell. This stuff did not last much at all. That was my main complaint about it. It smells great, just the scent of it is very good. And the evolution of it with the wood coming out towards the end, and it's very appropriately named. I mean, it doesn't smell like blood, but it has a very red, rich red feeling to it. But it doesn't last. The projection was awful, longevity was awful. I wish, and I piled it on, I think I put 3 sprays in one spot, and it was gone within 2 hours, couldn't smell it. So, give it a try. It's very unique, it's very good if you can find it. I know the line isn't distributed very much, and they do have it at Barney's, I don't know where else. And if you can get it to last on you, let me know how. This smells really good. Moving along, this guy, I have been searching for this for a long time. This is from our friend, Mr. Francis Kershaw. This is the exclusive that he has to Moscow. It's called Ciel de Gum. Got this from a friend of mine over on Facebook. Thank you for this, you know who you are. I've been searching for this for a long time. The notes sounded amazing with it. You can only buy this in Moscow. Can't buy it in maybe his boutique in Paris. Nowhere else, not from his website. Nowhere in the U.S. carries it. He was able to get his hands on a bottle and generously swap me a sample of this. I have worn it once. Now I have to tell you, the notes sounded amazing with this. Cinnamon, pink pepper, a little bit of vanilla. Kinds of things that he would do very well. Unfortunately, there is a very prominent jasmine note in here. I hate jasmine. Cannot stand it. On me. And while yes, the cinnamon is there, the spice is there, vanilla is there, it is all encompassed in jasmine, which absolutely ruins it for me. So needless to say, I've been very disappointed by this. Really looking forward to trying it. And the jasmine does not go away. It sticks with it for the entirety of the scent. It does last quite a bit, but I couldn't do it. As far as the name goes, Gum is actually the name of a department store in Moscow that is apparently very famous, similar to a Harrods or a Bergdorf, and hence the name Ciel de Gum. Has nothing to do with chewing gum or anything of that nature. But this one, if you can get over the jasmine, if you're okay with that, this might be a great option if you can get your hands on it. Very hard to find. But there are a few bottles floating around in the community that people have. To me, this is much, much more feminine. You know, a man can certainly wear it. You know, gender designations are not the best way to approach it. But I hate jasmine. That one really disappointed me. Alright, this guy. Let's move to the YSL house. Now, no, this is not L'Homme. This is not L'Homme Libre or L'Homme Sports Athlete Fresh thing. No. This is from his, I guess you could call it a private collection line of some sort. This is called Splendid Wood. Now it actually says on the side of the bottle the main notes that are in it, and they are oud wood, the cedar wood, the cypriol, cardamom, incense. So let's spray it on. I was walking through the Saks here in Boston one day and stumbled upon this line. Hadn't smelled it, figured why the hell not. Sprayed this guy on. Let me tell you, this juice is amazing. Now, I don't remember if I've talked about this on my channel or not already, I can't forget. This is not a first impression by any means. I've already split this bottle, but this is relatively new juice. It's only been around it was released earlier this year. This is amazing. Let me tell you, this is absolutely amazing. A lot of wood, not oud dominated, not any one wood that dominates it. It's a combination of a lot of them. Comes off with a bit of almost a cinnamon smell, like a very rich cinnamon, not sugary cinnamon that is in foods. A little bit of like a slight herbal quality to it. This is just damn good. I love this juice. I've worn it many times now. It's light enough that you can wear it in the warm weather and it's not going to overpower anything. It doesn't become cloying. This just smells really good. If you like wood, just woods, try it. Really, just try it. I don't know if they have it anywhere other than Saks. I don't know if all Saks carry it. It's good. This one you can jump on the hype train for. Splendid wood, YSL. Go find it. Get your hands on a decant or something like that. I know a lot of people talk about Noble Leather. That one I thought was pretty good, but didn't really do anything for me to distinguish itself from a lot of the other leathers that are out these days. This one, for me, is absolutely the best from the line. The other two are very floral. Majestic Rose is just a basic rose fragrance, and the other one was really not up my alley. Forgot the name of it. But this guy, best of the line. Smell that all day. Alright, you know what? Let's go to the Lucases. I have split one of these. It was on a previous list that I did. The vote for the next split. This is Un Nuit à Doha. Translates to a night in Doha. Doha being a city in Qatar. Currently under scrutiny for their World Cup bid. Now, this line, if you've never seen the bottles, they are 50 milliliters. A little crystal thing there. The gold cap, made to look like honeycomb. I don't know why. Has the 777 logo on it, and if you look around the neck of the bottle, there are 3 sevens in succession. It's nice. It has the little 777 on the side. Nothing outrageous. I know some of his other ones, the bottles are various colors. There's a red one, there's a few black ones, silver, so that's that. This one, obviously I've smelled this and worn it, I've split this. Let me give you a good sprayer. This one, if you're a fan of Fusion Sacre, I think that's how you pronounce it, you will like this. If you cannot stand the ridiculous amount of sugar sweetness in Fusion Sacre, you might like this. This is a very muted sweetness on top with a hint of bergamot. No, there's no bergamot. I believe the name of the note is candied mandarin, as they call it. Sounds about right. There's a very candied sweetness to it, but not overpowering. And the base is a wonderful pipe tobacco. It is just goes so well. This is great for a summer night. I believe I actually wore this last Saturday night. I did. Just strong enough, but not too strong. That's it's kind of a running theme with this house a little bit, which I'll get to in a bit. Very good. Very well done. So far, of the ones that I have smelled from this line, this is my favorite. These are all the ones from this house I've blind sampled and bought and all of that. Very good juice. If you like tobacco, you'll like this. This does not smell like tobacco vanille. Don't go running after it. It does not. They're not polar opposites, but there's very distinct differences between the two. But this one, good juice. Definitely seek it out if those notes sound up your alley. Moving along, this next one. This actually is the one in the red bottle. This is Conchio. No idea if that's right. Probably not. This is the cherry one. I have worn this once or twice. And this one smells like cough drops. It does. And it doesn't last. I know there's supposed to be a whole bunch of different kinds of cherry in there. The bottle's beautiful. It's like a red version. It's like this metallic red. The cap is red. It's a beautiful bottle. Unfortunately, the juice inside, I can't recommend it. It's not his best, let's say. I was not a fan of it. I am not a fan of it. Once that sample's gone, I will not be seeking another one. You really have to like cherry to like this. And I am a fan of cherries, but you have to be a fan of that medicinal cherry. You really have to like that. Supposedly there's a prominent oud note in there. I've never gotten it. But really the kicker for me is the longevity is awful. It's brutally bad. 2-3 hours it's gone. And for a $300 plus bottle for 50 milliliters, that is unacceptable. One comment I have about the line is he charges a lot for his juice. Whether or not it's justified, that's one thing. But the entire line are EDP, so apart from not pure perfume concentration. And if you're going to charge $865 for a 50 milliliter bottle of something, up the concentration a little bit, will you? You know, that's stupid. So, just a little rant on that. That one, don't bother with it. You probably won't like it. Let's move along here. This is Black Gemstone. This one I have not smelled at all. Sample came like this, so apparently this one is more resinous, dark. Name like that, you'd think it is. And whoa. Okay. It is dark and resinous. Wow. Very appropriate name, Black Gemstone. This smells like it would be black. And it smells very earthy in a dingy kind of way. A lot of heavy resin, heavy incense, heavy... I think there's actually a tar note in here, much like the infamous tar note in Amen, except this really smells like tar. Yeah. It's good. But it's one of the... I could see this being very polarizing. It's strong, at least to the first spray, it's quite strong. It's dying down a little bit, but it's maintaining its very dark, earthy scent. And a lot of times when you use the term earthy, it denotes greenness, or you think of plants and herbal scents. No, that is not what I mean by this. Think dark, think black, think like wet resins from, I don't know, hit a dead end there. But really, it's a very, you know what it's a little bit like, in a sense, not completely, but if you think of Narciso Rodriguez for him, that kind of wet cement scent, they're not that similar, but they are in a sense. Wow. It's very different, very unique. I'd have to return to that one. Move along. Next one from him is called Uoma. Apparently this is a herbal oud, a little bit of rose. Let's see. Oh, that's weak. Really? I know my nose is getting a little bit worn down, but really, that's it? I mean, this is just sitting on the paper, not doing much. It is kind of herbal. More in that earthy category that I was describing that black gemstone is not. This is, oh, a little bit of rose. Try to peek through. Maybe some oud. I don't know. It's not bad. Has a little bit of that paint smell to it that ouds and roses can sometimes give off. Yeah. I don't see it for a $500-something bottle. I don't see it. It's not bad. An herbal oud and rose. And maybe some other light woods sneaking around there. Yeah. Yeah. And the last one from this line is called Oud 777. Apparently, in this one, there are four different kinds of oud in here. Who knows? Just took a whiff of it, and it's... yeah. It almost smells boozy. It's interesting. This does not smell like your typical oud fragrance, for sure. That is on the market right now. I don't know if that's the result of these combinations of different kinds of oud that he put in there. I took a look at the note pyramid, and there's not really a whole lot else in the juice. It's oud and oud and oud and not much. There's one other thing I can't remember. It's not bad. You know, this is different. Closest... no, I've not smelled an oud that smells like this. I was going to say it smells a little bit like Killian's Pure Oud, but that's not true. It doesn't. It really does kind of smell a little bit boozy. There's no booze note in it, but that's what it comes off as. This is interesting. I'm going to have to give this another shot. Obviously, this is incredibly expensive juice. This is another $500+ bottle. But this is definitely better than Uoma. I would probably put this behind the Doha as my second favorite from the line, just based on these initial impressions. Not bad. You are worthy of another look. Alright, the last two. Maybe the two you've been waiting for? I don't know. The new ones from our friend Mr. Ford. Costa Azzurra and Mandarino di Malfi. I had mentioned a few months back that these two would be coming out in a previous video. Obviously their names changed. This was formerly Formentera, I think. And this was just Mandarino. I have smelled them. I have worn them once each. These bottles are beautiful, by the way. This is a deep sky blue. This is a light, almost baby blue. They go very well next to the Neroli Portofino bottle. It is, in terms of the hue of blue, it's kind of in between these two. It has that green texture to it. But they really are very well done. This is excellent presentation. As always, does that very well. Let's start with the Mandarino. Get my things correct here. Mandarino is a largely orange scent. It is orange, tarragon, mint, and I think lemon is the other one. And off the top, you get that orange and a little bit of lemon. Some people I had read were comparing this to Neroli Portofino and saying that this was a knockoff of it. I would disagree with that, because this does not have a key component of Neroli Portofino, that being the Neroli. It does not have that. It doesn't have that soapy quality that the other has. They're both certainly orange-based fragrances, so I guess they're similar in that regard, but they are not clones of one another. I don't find it redundant to have both of them. The mint starts coming through a little bit later with this one. Of the two new ones, this would be one more suited, most likely, towards women. It does have a bit of a floral texture to it at times. I don't know if that's the tarragon or what, but nonetheless, it's very nice. It's calming. This is most definitely a summer day wear scent. It's on the lighter side. It would not be something I would wear at night, no way. And certainly would be a summer-only scent. I would not really see myself wearing this past a summer day. But in that regard, it being a one-trick pony, it does it nicely. What it is intended to do, it does it well. My only complaint about it would be is that this does smell a little bit like something you would expect from an Acqua di Parma. They love their oranges over there, and certainly the Italian theme to it are similar in that regard. Not that it's a bad thing, but this is not something that you're going to consider groundbreaking by any means. It's not entirely new and innovative, but for what it sets out to do, it does well. It's good. It's good. Alright, the other guy, Costa Azzurra. It's not Costa Azzurra, or Azzurra. It is Azzurra. A pizza. Palazzo. Get that. I didn't sleep much last night. So, I can tell you I like this one a lot better. This one is more up my alley. This is a different kind of warm weather scent, in that there are two wood notes in here, oak and driftwood, that make it less of a one-trick pony. There's not as much citrus going on here. In fact, when you first spray it, the initial blast is of oak and of a little bit of driftwood. I can tell you later it dampens out a little bit. The woods actually fade away. Odd, usually woods are more of a base note. But they fade away. It's more of a lavender scent. They're still there, the woods, but it certainly does not smell like Neroli. It does not smell like the Mandarino. This is not heavily citrus dominated. There's not a lot of, in a lot of ways this is almost, you wouldn't expect it to be a summer scent. This is more of a spring or early fall. So in that regard, it makes it more versatile and more usable in more circumstances. Could be used on a summer night. Yeah, I think so. Could be used into the fall a little bit, if you're into that whole seasonal thing. I know some people wear whatever they want at any time of the year. That's certainly reasonable. For me, scent evokes the type of feeling that I have at the time, the weather, and I don't like to wear things out of season, so to speak. But I like this. Certainly of the two, this is more my favorite. It does last a little bit longer. Both are a bit more on the skin scent side. These are not projection monsters. I don't think they're really intended to be. It's not the type of scents that they are. It's good. Good juice. I think both of these, they will sell very well. They are crowd pleasers. You know, I can see a couple walking into a store and a guy getting this, his girlfriend getting this, or something to that effect. I can tell you my girlfriend likes this one on herself a lot more than this. And she's a humongous Neroli Portofino fan. She loves it and likes this one a lot more. They will sell well, obviously, with bottles like this. They very attractive. Nothing horrendously bad. Nothing awesomely groundbreaking, but good nonetheless. They are good juice. It's the best way to put it. So, not bad.